Greetings, dear friends. I have made a lot of videos about food. Even more about compatibility between you and a certain person, how to find your compatible soulmate. But food is something we use, consume every day. It is what our health with you depends on. It is very important to eat properly, to know what to eat. And what you should not eat at all, what you cannot even pick up at all. Hey Dad, what is this? Is it here? What is this? Well, this is a little off topic here. It is. No, it is on topic. It is just on topic. That 21 years ago. 20 years ago such a work of mine was done. It is voiced, in order to live, in the table correctly. The question is from Alexander Shimko. I am Alexander, he is from us. But here such a thing comes out, that here. Well, this is an advertising option was in the Moscow newspaper Komsomolist in Ukraine. And they did it again. What a year it was. It was 2001, somewhere like that. Yes, that's what they did. Well, I did. They advertised in their newspaper. This advertisement went. Such lists of products were published depending on when a person was born, what day of the month, what year, and the person takes it, opens it and looks. Oh, he says, I don't even like it. I say, I'm seeing you for the first time. It's already written about you here, that this is possible. And this is not possible here. And in 1,000 subscribers were added to the newspaper Moskovsky Komsomolets in Ukraine. The next year 113 subscribed. You can imagine, that is, how it worked out. But it is possible. Well, yes, that is, it turns out that if a person was born on a certain day, month and specific day, that is, products are calculated for him. Then he takes this list and looks at, oh, what is this? Cranberry 80%. Yes, I love cranberries very much, that is. It comes subconsciously. In most cases a person naturally chooses what suits them according to the month, according to their energy, In short, all this information is in a special application that we give to each person receives it. Here's how many 21 pages of information. 21 pages, well, not to tell, like that, and a person received. Read, there are no questions, and he receives such a list. In this book, 75% of information. Why 75? But because it's for people who may have poor eyesight, and the print is small. They ask me the editorial office of the newspaper, and maybe we'll take it not 220. $180, I say, take it. Well, something needs to be thrown away. I say, throw it away. They threw it away. That is, this is a good thing. The circulation is 800, but I only got 3 left. Otherwise everything went to the Narada. The cabinet, the security structures, they gave me out of 800. Only 5 copies, and here it's not accurate, because here in the middle of the week. For example, from May 27th to June 2nd, well, a person is not born on May 27th. Or some kind of data is given here during the week. And when there is an individual food, then here in general on a specific date, for example, everyone knows this one. Probably heard of Porfiry Kornevich Ivanov, well, that uncle who ran around in shorts and a baseball cap. February 20th, 1898, so he had such products. And what is interesting, he did not eat meat. And this is a separate topic in general. Carnivore or herbivore or what? So how can that Ivanov Porfiry Kornevich eat if his pork has 51% usefulness? Anything less than 46, 40, anything less than 60, I do not recommend. Pork is twice as expensive, in general, always, than just pork. And the uncle grew up in poor conditions, that is, he could not eat meat because pork is expensive. Otherwise meat was not for him, he didn't eat, and there are people who picked up on it, like Porfiry Kornevich didn't eat muscle and such. Well, I don't think, he's just equal. But how did I have a story with Amosov academician, Nikolai Mikhailovich, in short? You'll see here whether you can eat meat or not, and all these questions. which concern these contradictory dialogues, that I eat meat, and I don't eat meat. The ability to digest meat or not depends on the disposition. The location of the sun, the earth, the moon, on the day. At the moment of a person's birth, well, in short, a very, very, very long topic. And I personally use this. I understood a lot when I developed this system. I developed it. Everything is written here. What I'm telling you, everything is written here. This is a separate book in general. And by the way, my next book will be, the book is now being finished, work on a book. Called The Cornerstone of Life. Rhythm, how walking affects mental activity. How people write and why people write, and so on, it is already ready. Practically, after the new year it will be published. The next one will be called, probably, it will be called Eat to Live, but in this book it is inaccurate, and here it is not enough. And the book that will be complete. Then he gets a free list of products. Right, that's serious, but this is crazy. I'm going to start counting. Then, how will they pay? Yes, I think that's enough. What's been said about nutrition, if you're interested. Right, do it. Subscribe again. Yes, subscribe. Yes, and a screenshot. It's not difficult for you. A screenshot. That you subscribe to and send it to me on Instagram, and what will happen, and we'll see. The person who will be the 50th or 100th there, for that person there will really be such a list. The visit will be free. 1001, 1002, 1003 people. Who subscribe to my YouTube channel will get 3 people. They will get a free list of food, a list of products that are suitable. You probably heard, No, there was a Dr. Volkov 27 years ago in Moscow. He made a hemo code, it is said. I checked this hemo code. Well, this is again, it will be in that book that will be released after the new year. It will be written there. What is the scam there? And the scam there, I will not tell you now. Well, there is the influence of the moon. Well, I will tell you a little. For example, if these products are normal in the blood, and these are bad, 2 weeks pass or 6 months. Especially 6 months, then everything changes there, and what was not possible, and this is possible, on the contrary. This is not possible, and this is possible, and this is what I did. Well, I developed it for more than 10 years. It was in 2000, it was already ready, imagine, almost a quarter of a century. Like a quarter of a century, 24, like it's ready already, and you don't have it yet. You want to have it, you want to be healthy, you will, but sign up. Screenshot and you will receive a prize. Give it to the 1st, 1000th, 1001, 1002nd. That is, 3 people get, yes, 1001. It's free, that is, the first 3 people get 5,000, yes, and more, that is, it. Turns out that not all people can be vegetarians and not all people can be women, that is, one person, some kind of Porphyria Ivanov, this Porphyria Ivanov's products, I see now, there is no meat, yes, he has meat here, in percentages. How many percent? Every product and, for example, meat, drink, food, vegetables, fruits, how many percent? What suits him more? What doesn't suit him? That is, I see meat food doesn't suit him much. He is a vegetarian, and it turned out that he, well, in those days, when he lived, walked around in shorts in winter and summer. And he became famous, and people look, oh, this grandfather isn't sick. This uncle isn't sick, what is he doing? Yeah, he's hardening, he walks around barefoot all the time, all year round. We will be like that too. Oh, I wonder, what does he use, what does he eat? Yeah, he's a vegetarian, we'll be vegetarians too. But not everyone can be a vegetarian, he says, I don't eat that. And everyone doesn't eat it. How many people I had like that? I don't eat meat, some classmates I had. I went there, got into those conversations, those dialogues, one or the other, someone writes, I started eating like plant-based meat food, and I fall off my feet, like, and the other says, on the contrary, there's something, oh, I started eating, it's normal, or I. Then I wrote, give me your date of birth, and you know, about 200 people. I checked like that and looked, that person who has not shown meat. If she started eating muscle, she feels bad, that is, this is a discovery. This is essentially a discovery, and where do legs grow from? This is described in this material. In the upcoming book that will be published after the new year. So, now I want to say something else, that is, it turns out that when human physiology. The physiology of human digestion is the same for everyone, but the physiological processes of digestion in each person are a little different. Yes, they are a little different, it depends on the lunar rhythms. On where the moon was at the time of a person's birth, and I didn't say this, I'll say, I was somewhere, I started experimenting with nutrition at the age of 10. I ate meat, then I didn't eat meat, well, I played sports, and I heard that these Shaolin monks, they are vegetarians, I think so too, yeah. I'll be a vegetarian too. I won't eat meat. I stopped eating meat. I didn't eat meat for about a year. And then I get wounds. Well, when they appear, I'm somewhere for, well, yes, it's a family thing. 15 or 17, something like that happened. Yes, a wound appears. Well, I scratched it a little with something. The wound doesn't heal. A week, basically a scratch. A week or two, a month doesn't heal. It gets bigger, bigger, bigger. Doesn't heal at all early. I went to the clinic. Did a blood test, everything is normal, then I dripped hemodes. It's something, I don't know, it's there now, it's something that cleanses the blood. Yes, everything is normal, with a blood test in general, the blood is perfect, the doctors say. Everything is great, I did a blood test several times. Through my own fault, from a finger, everything is great, I couldn't understand what it was. I think I had some kind of disease, and I didn't eat meat on purpose. Generally it's chicken, veal, everything, pork, everything that is made from meat is made. I didn't eat it, and then one day my mother made cutlets. She says, well, eat it, do it there, no, break, and once she said, take a couple of cutlets there. I ate a couple of cutlets, I hadn't beaten them yet, yes. I ate a couple of cutlets, I still kept a sports diary. I wrote everything down there, my father made me, not only me, but everyone who worked out with him, trained. Because lifting, pulse, lying, sitting, standing. What I did for training, that is, I wrote down everything. What? How much of what I ate, in short, I started analyzing a little. I look, then I didn't eat meat, there were 3 cutlets. I ate cutlets, and then on the second, third day all my wounds healed. Yes, the wounds disappeared, the first time I didn't attach importance to it. And then I continued to be a vegetarian again, I couldn't understand why these wounds disappeared from me. Then again somewhere 3 or 4 months passed. And these wounds started to appear again. I looked at what I ate then, yeah. I ate meat again, and my wounds disappeared. The next day, the next 2 days. All the wounds disappeared, and then I definitely understood that meat must be eaten. Animal protein must be eaten. Plus we live in such an environment where there is snow in the winter. Well, there used to be snow, now there is less of it, it is cold in the winter. Warm in the summer, and meat is necessary. You try a Chukchi, who eats meat all his life, there is fish, seals, whales. Try to put him on bananas, they're on some cereals. He will bend, he will not be able to eat this carbohydrate food all the time in a cold climate. That's why we need both proteins and carbohydrates, it is very, very necessary. If you want to be healthy, but of course we are going back a little. There are people who do not necessarily have to eat protein food, they vegetarians. And there's no need to tell these vegetarians that veganism is good for everyone. No, veganism is not good for everyone. I've said everything I wanted to say, that's it, we're done, and if there are questions, I think there will be, we'll answer them later, but all the answers will be in the book. That will be released after the new year, it's basically ready, and where can you buy it, this book? And we'll tell you where, it won't be sold about this. If you sell it somewhere in a store, you have to pay for the warehouse to the sellers. The store, it will be a very expensive book, so it won't be. It will be distributed like this, of course. Do you want a book that will help you be healthy? Subscribe, follow us, follow our videos. Write to Instagram if you have any questions. Well, that's all, dear friends, I have everything, yes, that's all. See you later, follow us, come on in, subscribe, whoever subscribes.